Hello everyone and welcome to BodyBags. I'll be your reviewer today. I'm Lonnie from Tats. And wow, I just realized this is actually the third week in a row that I'm reviewing an Italian horror movie. This feels weird, you know. Feels like, shouldn't Rob be doing the Italian horror movies? No. Anyway, so we're back, and as promised, when I did my 2 weeks ago, when I did my review for Sex of the Witch, I said that we are going to review all three movies in the Camille, Keaton, and Italy's collection. And we got one down, two to go. And the one I decided to go with today, we're going to talk about is, if I can get it out, from 1972. It is called Tragic Ceremony. And I know that I was a little harsh on the Sex of the Witch review, saying that the movie was more just kind of softcore sleaze and wasn't much of a horror film. This movie, I feel, pretty much kind of makes up for it. I still have yet to look at Madeline. Was it Madeline? It just says Madeline. Okay, but yeah. So this one here, I was actually pretty impressed with this one. I thought this was a good flick, and yeah, the artistry there, that looks pretty good too, doesn't it? But we have a good story here. Now, the story concerns four characters, four hippies, basically. We have Jane, who is played by Camille Keaton. She is the lead in this movie, whereas in Sex of the Witch, she was just, part of an ensemble cast and just kind of a supporting character. Here she is the main character, pretty much. And we have Bill, we have Joe, and we have Fred. And Bill is a guy who he likes Jane, but I'm trying to remember. I think it was Joe that Jane actually, was intimate with, and kind of, if she was seeing any of the three guys, it would be Joe. And so they're hanging out and all this, and it turns out that Bill ended up getting a necklace. That it turns out that the necklace is considered to be cursed, right? And at first he gives the necklace as a gift to his mother. And she finds out that it is cursed and she doesn't want to wear it. So what Bill decides to do is he takes the necklace, he steals the necklace from her, and he gives it to Jane. Now the four of them, they're out just, they're out riding kind of like a dune buggy and, just, camping out on the beach, having a good time and just, hanging out and playing music and, getting high and all this kind of good stuff. And, just enjoying the day. Well, it starts to get dark and it turns out it's getting ready to rain. So they decide that they want to go ahead and leave. Well, they stop at a gas station and, turns out that Bill is pretty much trying to pay for everything with traveler's checks. And he can't find his wallet and he's having trouble with his, trying to get his ID and stuff like that. And so they're sitting there, bickering back and forth with the gas station attendant and, about whether or not he would take the check. He's like, well, I don't want to take the check without ID and all this kind of stuff. They work out an arrangement and they get a little bit of gas, but not much. So they're out driving and, again, the car runs out of gas and they end up coming to this mansion run by Lord and Lady Alexander. And they tell him, go ahead and bring the car into the garage and, there's fuel in the garage and all this stuff. So they bring the car into the garage, they find the fuel cans, they put, the gas in the car or the buggy. And Lady Alexander comes in and she's, why don't you all stay the night? It's raining, and everything else. You can, stay in here, you be warm, you be fed, all this kind of stuff. And they decide that they're going to go ahead and, take them up on the offer. So Jane decides, she's going to go take a bath. And, so then the three guys are just kind of hanging out in the kitchen and stuff. Well, Jane gets done taking her bath. And then she, she's kind of wandering around, kind of like this here. And she happens onto the Lord and Lady Alexander actually have a hidden room in their mansion. And they have, a bunch of, Satan worshipers and they're, performing a satanic ritual. And so they find Jane and then they decide that they're going to use Jane as, a sacrifice. And so, the guys start to wonder like, well, where is Jane? What happened to her? Is she okay? And all this kind of stuff. And So they, kind of like go around and they're looking for her, and they stumble upon this sacrifice or this satanic ritual, and it turns out that they're getting ready to sacrifice Jane. So, they decide, no, well, they're like, we can't let this happen. So they start to fight and everything else. And I believe it was Bill who did it, or Joe. I can't remember which. But one of them ended up stabbing Lady Alexander, and Lord Alexander gets killed. And then basically the cult just basically go bananas, and they decide, to start killing each other. They're killing each other with machetes and knives and axes and guns and all this kind of stuff. The one thing that's funny though is like they keep showing the same thing. Like, like one character like gets their head split with a machete. I'm not even joking. They show it like several times. They'll show like, this character gets killed with a machete. This character gets killed with a gun. This character gets stabbed. Then they go back to the character getting killed with a machete again, and then again and again. And it's weird. I mean, I think the idea was it was supposed to make it look like it was just an all-out massacre, and there was like more people than what they had the budget for, I guess. But it was crazy. It's crazy the way it's done. And unfortunately, it's like, yeah, it's 1972, so you kind of have that kind of like fake blood that looks more like kind of like red paint or red nail polish or something like that. So unfortunately, the blood isn't the most convincing, but still a pretty cool scene if you just don't mind the same like 5 or 6 characters just watching them get killed in the same way over and over and over again. But so anyway, so they get Jane, and they our 4 intrepid heroes get the hell out of the mansion, and at first they go to Bill's mother's house, and then Bill's mother finds out that she knows that he even though he doesn't own up to it, she knows he stole that cursed necklace from her, and even though he's denying and stuff, she's telling him, you can't stay here, and you need to go someplace else. And so kind of like they're going from like place to place trying to find a place to hide out. They find out on the news that they thought that they covered their tracks, but they find out on the news that the whole massacre of the satanic cult was discovered, and that the necklace was found at the house, and their guitar was found there being held as evidence. But the main thing is the thing that's really interesting about this is that something has followed them. Even though they killed Lady Alexander and they killed Lord Alexander, just horrible things seem to be following them. Horrible things seem to be, happening, and one by one they're starting to come to a really gruesome end. And and it's like and Jane is acting very weird. Is Jane being possessed by a demon? Is she being possessed by Lady Alexander? What's going on here? But of course, it's BodyBags, so we're not going to give away the ending. I'll just pretty much leave it at that. But Tragic Ceremony, I would definitely recommend this movie. This is, I still haven't seen Madeline yet, but right now I definitely have to say that, yeah, Tragic Ceremony, this movie was good. It had a good story to it. I like the idea about it. The idea that, they end up being stuck in this, satanic ritual, but they manage to get out, but then evil forces keep tending to follow them wherever they go, and one by one they're all, succumbing to a horrible fate and everything. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. Camille Keaton gives a really good performance. Of course, here, obviously, she's very easy on the eyes, but her acting is very good, very solid. And I would definitely recommend. I would say, if you end up picking up this box set, I would say probably start with this one. I haven't seen Madeline yet, but right now I think I can safely say, even if I did, I'd probably still say, yeah, start with this one. So far, this one was a good movie, and I really enjoyed it, had fun with it. This is one I could definitely see myself watching again. And yeah, it's just, the director is Riccardo Freda, who made Iguana with the Tongue of Fire. Okay? Just thought I'd let you know that, So. But anyway, so, yeah. So, anyway, that's pretty much going to do it. I would definitely say, yeah, Tragic Ceremony, definitely watch this. And, You know, it looks great, sounds great. You know, Vinegar Syndrome did a really great job on the restoration, but story-wise, yeah. I mean, I would say, yeah, that's probably about the weakest thing I would say about this movie is just that, you know, it's like when it gets to the massacre scene, like I said, just the special effects aren't the most convincing you've ever seen. And just like I said, it just keeps showing like the same like 5 or 6 characters just being killed in the same way over and over and over again. But if you can get past that, yeah, the movie definitely has a great atmosphere. And I don't think there's much more I can say about it. So this is going to be one of my shorter movie reviews, but I know I'm kind of stalling and stammering, but it's just I'm trying to, like right now, I'm trying to think, like, did I forget anything? Was there something else? But I think I pretty much covered all the bases I wanted to cover on this movie. But Tragic Ceremony, yeah, definitely a fun one. And so far, you know, out of the 3 in the Camille Keaton box set, yeah, definitely the best one. So that's going to do it. So if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I also hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a like. If you haven't already, go and subscribe to the BodyBags channel. We have a different reviewer, one for every day of the week. I am the Saturday reviewer. You know, we got great guys. Everybody's doing great stuff. Everybody's solid, you know, bringing their A game. You know, we have more, we have more theme weeks coming. We have more, you know, label weeks and everything else. So hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll keep you all nice and entertained. So that's it, everybody. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.